Hey guys, Rachele here with Amethyst Ascension. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are returning, thank you so much for joining me again. So this is going to be a March roundup video or, pretty much reflections on what I did, what I enjoyed, the new decks I got, what books I read, yada, yada, yada in March. So first off, I started talking in a previous video about starting my journaling digitally. Oh my gosh, wow. Okay, so as you can see, this is the first page of my March journal, digital journal. And it's just my tarot journal. And I obviously talk about other things too. Like for instance, I mark here the new moon, the full moon, Astara. This was my number of the month. These are what those talk about for the number 8. It's kind of like that energy of the 8. The books that I read, one was Women Who Run with Wolves. Another one I finished was Lost Books of Enki. Another one I finished was Convoluted Universe 3. And Arcadia, Gospels of the Witches. Those are the ones that I did finish. However, here is another one. I haven't finished, but I've almost finished the whole thing. It's on numerology. And I worked through a lot of these, including like my numerological birth chart. I didn't even know that was a thing. With the girls, with, some of my friends, close friends. And so we did that. I also got a whole bunch of new decks, which, let me start showing you those. I created some widgets also, is what they're called. This is a widget that I created for digital journaling. And you can make these bigger. So the first one I got was the Wandering Star Tarot. I'm just going to do this as briefly as I can. Here is this is what the front looks like. This is by Kat Pierce. So I had originally purchased this several months ago from Barnes & Noble. And the last card, because it's got the paper ring around it, the last card was damaged. So I returned it and opened it there, because I know sometimes this happens in like whole shipments of things. And the second one I purchased, yet again, had the same problem. So I returned them both and didn't purchase this again for several months. And then I finally decided to try it again, try my hand at it. And this one came out okay, and I got this through Amazon. I love this deck. I think it is so quirky. It's so colorful. The artwork is so beautiful. And it's just different than any other kind of tarot deck that I had. I really, really like it. And I even don't mind. I think the keywords that are on there are actually really good. And they're very, like, hidden, where you don't see them so easily. They're not, like, obtrusive or anything. So, there's that one. And then I also got the Intuitive, whoops. I got the Intuitive Night Goddess Tarot. Just to show a few. I mean, these are so gorgeous. Look at those. Again, I have goddess decks, but they're all oracle. I've never had like a deck that's, a goddess tarot. So I'm like, well, I got to. Look at that. That's so pretty. That is so pretty. I love it. So, and then another one I got. So another one I got is the Relative Tarot. And it's so funny. I had seen this in a shop, And I thought, oh my gosh, this would look really good with my Divine Muses Oracle that I love. And I didn't really have anything else that was kind of like in that coloring that would work with it. So I seen this and I thought, oh my gosh, yes. These two would work so well together. And then I even had somebody comment that, you know, Dawn Michelle actually did a pairing of those two. And I was like, well, maybe that's where I originally seen it, because I love Dawn Michelle. I love her channel. And I just, so maybe it was like a subliminal thing. I don't know, because I hadn't remembered it. But I can definitely see why they would look perfect together. And so that was another one. So another one I got is called the 5 Cent Tarot. And I actually, this is one of those mornings that I got up like really early. I think the dogs probably kicked me out of the bed 4 o'clock in the morning. And the first video I'm watching is I'm waking up and I'm drinking my first coffee, just trying to wake up. And I'm watching 3 Girls, 1 Deck. And it was the one episode that they had Gerald on from Tarot Stash. And he was showing this particular deck. And he was showing the Know Thyself. And oh my goodness gracious. And I was like, oh my goodness. It was like a damn tarot infomercial. And I mean, he totally sold it. He is such a good salesperson. So yeah, he showed this deck. And I did not have anything like this deck. Nothing. And so I thought it was really, really cool. Let me push that aside just for a minute. So I thought it was really, really cool. And I picked this one up. He was also showing another one. The Know Thyself. I swear, it was like... note to myself, do not shop at 4 a.m. in the morning. Allow yourself time to wake up. Which, I mean, I do not regret the purchase. This is nothing like anything else that I have. I do like the theme of it. It's kind of neat looking. And I like that one is a, tarot and one is an oracle. And he was showing both of them. I thought they were really, really cool. And the site also had a yes and no coin. I just couldn't refuse. I'm like, I had to. And so, yeah. It was like, what do they say? People doing shopping like on Ambien or something like that. That's kind of what it felt like. Note to self, do not watch, tarot where they're trying to promote different. And he wasn't. He was just trying to convince the ladies on to get it, and he definitely convinced me. I don't know if he convinced any of the other ladies, but he definitely convinced me. So yeah, I got those two and the coin, and the coin is super friggin' cool. Okay, so other one I got was Vision Quest Tarot. I thought this was just so gorgeous. I seen this at a local shop, and I mean, it's just so beautiful. So I chose to pick this up, and it was not expensive, like, $20. But I love the theme, and I did not really have any other tarot decks that were themed like that. I think I have like 1 or 2 oracles that are probably, but I wanted to be able to, pair some stuff together. Then another one I got is the Lucid Dreams Tarot. I saw this, another purchase, because I was watching a video first thing in the morning. This one was Lisa over at Supportive Tarot. She was the culprit in this situation, or the enabler. But I thought that this was a really cool deck. Really cool. And not only do you have the upright and the reverse, which is really cool because I don't really read reverse, but it's nice to know that it's there if you need it. Although I will say it's not so easy to see the, the keywords because of the coloring and stuff. But I thought the artwork was gorgeous, and I love all of the symbol that's on them as well. But essentially, I just thought that it was really, really beautiful. And, of course, I was sold when I watched her walkthrough. All of her walkthroughs are so good. She is just like the queen of that, I think, honestly. It came with a book. My book did get a little tore up in shipping. It took a while to get here. I think I ordered it in February, but it didn't arrive until March. But I also got a rose quartz heart with it, which, of course, I just loved. So then, all right. So another one I got is the Green Witch Tarot. Now, I've had this on and off of my list for like 2 years and just never pushed the button on it. And finally, I just think I was watching some more of Dawn Michelle, and I know how she works with this deck, just from her videos and how long she's been using it, how she connected with it, and looking at the artwork. It's just so stunning. I love it. And I love Llewellyn decks. They're just like so good for shuffling everything. So I was like, you know what? It's a less expensive deck. I love Llewellyn. So I'm just going to do it. Instead of putting it on my list, taking it off my list, putting it on my list, yada, yada, yada. You know the story. I just got it. And I'm so happy I did. Thus far, it's given me some great readings. And then I also got the Forest of Enchantments Tarot, which that was the same thing. It was on and off my list for a couple of years. Since it came out, it was on and off my list. And I think at the time I was like, no, I don't want to do it, just because it's got like the different names, for the suits and stuff, and it's a little bit different, but I really love it. It's so fanciful, and the more and more I've seen other people using it, and the beautiful artwork, and how they connected, the stories of how they connected with it, I was just like, okay, it's a $20 deck, just like with the Green Witch. I'm not going to keep going back and forth, on and off, on and off. I'm just going to get it. If I like it, wonderful. If I don't, I have plenty of people in my life that I can pass it along to that will, use it. But, I mean, I never get them for that. I want to be able to work with them, obviously. Now, another one that I got, and I've been working with also, if I can get it out of here, is the Mist of Avalon. And this is another one that's been on and off. But something interesting that I found out while working with this, which kind of blew me away, and I love this. I've always been super attracted to Arthurian legends and stuff, all the way from the time that I was a kid and I watched Excalibur. I loved that movie. I can't tell you how many times I've seen it. But while reading this, I found out that, and I didn't know this. I don't know why I didn't know this, but like Glastonbury is in Somerset. Well, when I had been doing ancestry information, because although I did get my ancestry information, my DNA, I put that out a couple of months ago, and got the results, and I am like Scottish and English and German and Scandinavia, pretty much that whole general area, right? But I found my family name on my mom's side and the family name on my father's side both came from Somersetshire, England, which is now modern day Somerset. So both of my families on my mother's side and my father's side from before the 1500s came from Somersetshire, Somerset, which is where the legends of Merlin are from. Or, Arthurian and Merlin and all that. Lady of the Lake, Excalibur. I just love it. Oh. So I have been working with this. and we'll continue to work with it. I'm in love. I also, I just started the Mist of Avalon book, and I hope to finish that this month in April. And there was one other deck that I got. I know this is long. I'm sorry, guys. Until you actually keep track of what you got, wow. Hi, my name's Rachele, and I have a problem. I am addicted to tarot. So until you write it down and recognize it, I didn't realize how much I had got, actually. And this was one of them that I had backed on Kickstarter last year, and it came in today, or it came in a couple weeks ago. And this is the Untamed Mystery Tarot. And this one is the Earth edition. Look at that brown. I love the brown. The colors and the shine in this are so beautiful. And I'm not really an animal person. And I don't know why I was so drawn to this. Maybe the color, the flashy, holographic stuff, probably. But also, look at that. Look at the friggin' backs. I think I wanted this deck more for the backs than anything. Isn't that terrible? Oh my gosh. I don't know. It was a huge campaign. So many people got this deck. I know they did. And it is gorgeous. I don't honestly know how I'm going to use it because I'm not an animal tarot person. Maybe this will help me get there because I have definitely seen some really gorgeous animal tarot decks. But I just can't seem to get myself to work with them just because I feel like animals don't have the same kind of emotions or the same kind of struggles that, you know, humans do. Thank God, really. But so it's hard for me to think of the different archetypes as animals in tarot association. So maybe this will help me expand a little bit. Who knows? So I did want to talk a little bit about like Women Who Run with Wolves. That had been suggested to me by Lady Blind Wolf. It was so good. It's just a small book. It was just wonderful. The Lost Books of Enki. That one was Zachariah Sitchin, I believe. That one was really difficult. These were on Audible. That one was really difficult to listen to because it is literally just like a pure plain translation of the tablets, the clay tablets. And so it talks about, I mean, everything almost like matter of fact, like really fast. You have to listen to it. Sometimes I had to double take and listen to it again. But one thing I did figure out that Ereshkigal, who is talked about in these tablets, who was the sister of Inanna and who was in the underworld. Well, after doing the study with the spirit keepers, Ereshkigal and Hecate are one and the same. So Hecate or Hecate was the sister of Inanna, the Sumerian goddess. Interesting, huh? Interesting. So Convoluted Universe 3 was the best so far by Dolores Cannon. Oh my gosh. There is so much in that. I mean, different energies that came through in these sessions with Dolores Cannon that we're talking about, like the times that we're in and how there are like a team of people that are on the earth at this time that are actually channeling like higher energy. And if we don't get our crap together, more or less, that they are here to more or less destroy, like at the times of Atlantis, because we were abusing our powers and or our technologies, like when they were mixing human and animal DNA and, you know, creating actual animals like the Minotaur, who people think is legend. Well, according to this, they were actual things like werewolves and all that, actual species that lived because of genetic splicing between animal and humans. Well, they talk about all this. They talk about so much. It's amazing. And then the Arcadia, Gospels of the Witches, that was, it was all right. It was, you know, I really can't say too much about it because it was just okay. It was, maybe that was one that would have been better if I read it rather than listen to it, because I like to multitask. So I'll listen to books and stuff like that while I'm doing other things. So anyways, so there's that. So I also started in March for this new month in April. I started doing Real Sky, or I should say True Sidereal Astrology charts, monthly moon charts for other people. I do them for myself. These were the actual moons and the astrological charts of what was going on in March. This was the new moon, and that was the full moon. And I like doing like readings and stuff like that. So I implemented those into my digital journal, which I'm loving. These were my cards for the month, which was the 10 of Wands and the 8 of Cups in reverse. So more or less it meant whatever I was taking on, I was not going to be walking away from it. It was something that I was choosing to deal with. And the way that it worked itself out was actually I just did a whole bunch of, you know, creating different digital, you know, journals and stuff like that, and started journaling digitally. And so I also started a membership in March over a membership to Dawn Michelle's channel, Boho Tarot, and that is fantastic. It is like the Weavers. Okay, so, and it's called like the Boho Weavers. Well, she also has a Facebook group, and she's got like a whole month of what's called monthly medicine. It is fantastic. And it really pushed my tarot practice up to the next level. Everything that you're going to see from this point on is all from that particular group, that particular membership. I highly, highly recommend it. So I'm loving the digital journaling. It is so fantastic. It's so easy. It's all in one place. I don't have to have like a bunch of different, you know, I don't have to scan my stuff. I feel like I'm more able to work with different decks, and I remember what decks I'm working with because it's so simple to just record everything, make it look decent. I can be creative at the same time as expressive, you know, with my words. And I'm not reinventing anything because she has already, and I mean Dawn Michelle over at Boho Tarot, she has already created this monthly medicine that she does each month with different themes, and they're just phenomenal. So I haven't even wrote down all the different decks that I've worked with this month, but Avalon, Oracle, Mist of Avalon. This was the Green Witch. Gosh, I don't remember. Forest of Enchantments, and I can't remember which one this one was. I have to go back through and look at it. A fairy one, Fairy Enchantments Oracle, I think, and then the Green Witch, and also the Green Witch and Mist of Avalon Oracle, the Relative Tarot, and the Divine Muses. My, what was this one? Athenes. Shoot, I can't remember the name of it now. Anyways, a lot of different ones. I mean, if you look, I used a bunch of different decks. The Pharaxa, and I can't remember. Maybe Rebel. I don't remember. The Mary Oracle, and I don't even remember the name. It's so bad. I am so bad. But anyways, so that was my month. I also did create, just really quick, I created a tarot study journal. Oh, and it doesn't want to show up. So let's see if we can show this one, if it'll show up. Tarot study journal. This one I have uploaded all of my, took the pictures of one of the decks I'm working on, which is the Spirit Keepers. And so there's that. And then you fill out the pages. It's an actual. So I made this journal. I'm, selling it on my my Ko-fi shop, amethystascension.com. Another one that I created in March is a dream journal. So, this is just your basic digital dream journal. And you can write in it, and there's different themed pages, colored pages, I should say. And another thing that I created was a book of shadows, digital, expandable, up to 18 categories, which I created. I edited mine. Where is it? So that you can see how expandable it is. So you click on one of them, because I've already linked them all. You just fill in whatever categories you want, and then they continue to expand. Let's say palmistry. I haven't started filling this out yet, but it's just like that. This takes you back to the table of contents, yada, yada, yada. And the Elder Futhark. So, and, takes you back to the different things, or the Ets, whatever. So that is what I have been up to. I'm trying to think if I'm missing. Oh, so the shows, rounding this off, the shows that I really loved in March, there was 4 of them. One was, and this one was on Netflix. It was Valhalla, the Vikings Valhalla. That was really cool. It's like 100 years after the series of the Vikings ended. So this is like their great grandchildren, which is really good. Another one that I watched, it was in their 5th season. I think it was their final season, is The Last Kingdom. That's also a Viking, Saxon, around the year 900, 1000, right around that time. I think maybe 950s, around that time, AD. Another one I loved and I finished was Bridgerton. Oh my gosh, I love that. That was in the 2nd season. Another one that I loved, and all 3 of those were on Netflix. And then there was one other one that I really enjoyed, and it's called The Gilded Age. And that one was on HBO Max, actually. And that one was really, really good. So that's what I was doing in March. And I have some exciting things that are going to be starting in April. I am still making more digital stuff. I'm still enjoying. I have started like doing my April stuff already. I did create a membership over on my Ko-fi shop, my amethystascension.com, for anybody that is interested in getting the monthly reports on, like what I've done here. I've already started because actually today is the new moon in Pisces. So I did a spread this morning, learned about the, how that works, what the kind of energies are around it, and, how that, what house that was in for me. That's what the charts do for me. And I love putting them in because I'm actually being able to see what's actually in the sky, the degrees and everything. So once you know what the degrees are, you can also look at your birth chart and see what those degrees in that sign, what house that was in. So it will help you, once you know the house, of, how those energies play out in your life. So, or what area of your life it can play out. So, yeah. So, I hope you have enjoyed this not so brief, video on what I was doing in March. And I'll see you soon.